Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I am feeling a lot better now, but I was nursing a cold for the past week or so, so it's been pretty annoying, and somehow my voice is still pretty bad. But yeah, I have some journal updates and planner updates for you guys. You may notice I have a little pocket friend. Who is this? Who is she? I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. But I'm going to be talking about three things today, primarily. The first one's going to be my Hobonichi cousin. This is like my main bread and butter, I think, in these update videos for the most part. And then the second point is going to be about my Patreon. I did launch a Patreon, and I'm like really excited about it, and I'll get more into why, like what my plans are over at Patreon, and like how, like what kind of content is going to be different from YouTube. And then the third talking point is going to be about my new addition, my pocket Filofax system, and I'll save that for last because it is kind of work in progress. Just to give you a little preview, like I am making some design stuff. This is also going to tie into Patreon because I'll have like these new insert designs like on my website that you can print out. But for any patron members, like they will get the inserts for free. It will just come with the membership. So that's just a sneak preview of like some things I want to talk about with Patreon. But yeah, I'm really excited. And then later when we talk about the pocket rings, I'm going to cut this up and see if it fits, because I'm not 100% sure. So we'll get into all of that in this video. All right, so let's start with the Hobonichi cousin, the A5 cousin. Like in the last updates video, I think I changed the cover around, right? I don't remember exactly what the cover looked like in the last time that I showed this, but I just added like a big pink flower here just to kind of represent like spring and summer and the more colorful seasons. And yeah, I changed the cover a little bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like I'll insert a photo of how my cover was looking in the beginning of April, because this is an April start. And I had this really beautiful Yoseka like art postcard on there, and super pretty, but I just kind of wanted to change it up a little bit because the postcard art is kind of like wintry themed, but it's so beautiful, and I can't wait to like bring her back. And I do have the postcard in here for safekeeping. One last thing I want to mention about the cover is I mentioned, I'm sure in one of the previous update videos, that like having a postcard as a decorative piece when you're not sure like if how you want to decorate it, I think is a really nice little hack, because it was really easy to just like lift up the postcard and all the stickers around it just like came off, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like a little hack, I guess, that I discovered, is like if you're not sure how to decorate, like try adding stickers on like a postcard, or adding a postcard, and that way you don't have to like lightly like glue the postcard on. That way you don't have to like commit super hard to stickers. Even with this, these are stickers, but this is actually just like a piece of paper. It's not even glued on. It's just that this clip sticker is holding it. So that's like another kind of like cover hack you could do. You could just like lightly layer a piece of paper or like with whatever design you want on it, and then obviously like using a clear cover helps because it kind of keeps it all in there. But yeah, so that's the cover change. There's nothing really super exciting with any of the other like sections. My monthly section is kind of bare right now because I'm still trying to figure out what needs to be in here. I am officially 1 month into using the weekly section as my memory keeper, and no notes really. It's worked really well for me. I think this is a perfect amount of space for me, to just have a memory like daily highlight recaps kind of section, and that's how I've been using this. And I am happy to say that I am pretty up to date. So I only missed these 2 days, this Saturday and Sunday, or the last Saturday and Sunday, because we had a lot going on. So those are the only 2 days I kind of missed in the start of May, but all throughout April, this really did work for me. So I'm gonna stay in this like memory keeping system. So my like thought with this book, in order to like have some consistency in writing in it, is that this is the section that I tried to make a daily practice out of. I mean, spoiler alert, but I did, for the most part, journal in all of April, like every single day, like without missing a day, like for the most part. Like there was like a couple of days that I had to like backfill, like one or 2 days, but for the most part, I was actually able to consistently journal in each day. And that's like really big for me because in the past I have always like backfilled the week because I don't know, like I wouldn't make it a good enough practice to do it daily. So now that I've been doing it daily, it's kind of stuck to me, I think. But as we went into May, as like we started going into May, I kind of fell off a little bit with the first couple of days. So my only real goal with this book is that I want to be able to fill out this weekly section each day and be consistent with it. Even if I don't end up writing a spread out for that day in the daily pages, like I want to at least have notes of the day here, just because otherwise, if it's like 1 or 2 days pass, I hardly remember like the details and thoughts I had for that day. So I want to just keep consistent at least with this section, which I have so far, like I said, except for these 2 days. But if I do miss a day like this, I want to give myself some grace and just let it go. Like I have a hard time letting go of like the empty pages, and I always end up backfilling. You might be thinking that's not a bad thing, right? Because at least I'm like going back and actually using the book. But the problem with constant backfilling is that it starts to like give you mental fatigue, like planner fatigue, you know, because you're constantly having to like backfill, which becomes a longer like process and starts to become a chore. So that's the only negative like side effect of backfilling all the time. Like, yeah, your pages will get filled, but how consistently can you backfill before it starts to give you that fatigue? So this is just the section. Very, very easy to do. It's just like when I'm out and about and have a lot going on, I just kind of tend to forget. But yeah, it's been pretty consistent for the most part. All right, let's go into the daily. So I did change a couple of little things around, like for the designs, and I changed the April cover. It's only 1 month in, so it's not like a big deal to change the cover. I changed the April like cover page, I guess you could say. I wanted to try a different like design layout out. So I actually put this all together in Photoshop and then printed it out on like a thin piece of paper, like a Tomoe River kind of paper. And I think having this kind of layout is more sustainable for me. Not in the environmental sense. I just mean like in the sense that like, instead of having to create like a big collage and think of the cover for each month, this is like a template basically. So like going into a new month, I can just go into Photoshop, like pop in different text that I want to highlight, and then that's pretty much it. And then just change the photos. It's just a little bit less mentally taxing because if you don't remember how it looked, I can try and find a photo, but I don't know if I have actually a photo of the cover. I didn't really love the way it looked. It was kind of a jambalaya of like random ephemera. I think it's not the ephemera that I didn't like. It's just my own handwriting that I didn't like. So I just put this over it. And then, yeah, so like the idea is just to have this little note, fake note section, I guess, to write out like some ideas or plans or goals I have for that month. I'm not quite sure where we stopped last update. So I'm just going to like show you guys April. yeah, maybe I'll just show you guys the first month. So, although I feel like the first 2 weeks, I may have shown these spreads a million times in other videos already. So maybe I'll just link the videos instead so you won't have to repeat. For those of you who have seen them, you don't have to like keep seeing the same thing over and over. I'm pretty sure I showed that. I think I showed that one. This actually might have been the last one, the last spread. So this was the last week of April. So my boyfriend went to like a trading card event. I don't know what it's called exactly, like a convention maybe, but they like sell, like a bunch of vendors come and sell trading card games and stuff. So he got a pack of Pokemon cards, and I already have this card. Actually, I think I have like 4 of these. So since I already have like multiples of this card, I just wanted to use this one and stick it in here so that it's like no harm, no foul, because I have like 3 other ones. But Clefairy is one of my favorites, followed by Jigglypuff, followed by Rengar. So all my favorite Pokemons are round. So I don't know what that says about me, but I like my round Pokemons. And then speaking of Gengar, this Gengar sticker he got from that convention. Here's my dog being a literal emoji, like the prayer emoji or whatever it's called, begging emoji. And then there's a Jigglypuff sticker, so he got me like all 3. Although I don't know where the Clefairy sticker is. Did I use it? I might have just saved it. This one here is kind of fun because I got an order from my Etsy shop. You guys, it's so funny when I get an order from Etsy because every single time I forget I have an Etsy because I get orders like randomly once in a blue moon. So I don't know if that came from like somebody watching my videos. Probably not. I think most of my Etsy orders come from Etsy organically. So that's kind of the vibe of my Etsy store. It's something I created a long time ago, like back in 2018. I just never really like did much to market it. So it kind of flopped. I mean, I'm sure I could just market it to an audience who is into that kind of aesthetic. It's very niche though, in my opinion. So, but yeah, I just have it, you know, I just have the store up for fun. I get like a random sticker order, like literally once in a blue moon. But yeah, these are all like little packaging things from like an order. And I mean, I still like the way that my stuff looks over there. Oh, and the shop is called, I didn't even say the name of the shop, but the shop is called Lore Monster. That was like the original like nickname that I had back in my gaming days, like my League of Legends days. So I just kind of wanted to create that brand, and I feel like the packaging, in my opinion, is like the best part of that brand, like of Lore Monster as a brand. I had a lot of fun making the package for that shop. But yeah, so shout outs to whoever made that sticker order. You made my day. This Gengar image of him weighing himself and being sad about it is such a mood. Such a mood. So this is the May cover. As you can see, it's kind of similar like to the April one with the like little clip and the note. And I said, this month I would like to stay consistent with low carb diet, walk more with cocoa bean, write my friends a letter, spend less, sell more stuff and declutter, spend less, create some journal stickers, and lastly, spend less. I am putting myself on ban island for literally everything because I just went on like a spending spree. Putting myself on ban island from literally anything, stationery, planners, all that stuff. Like I have everything I could possibly need already. So I am going to, mark my words, not spend until the summer, like unnecessarily spend anyway. I do love my hobbies and I do feel like it's justified to spend my money how I want, but I also am finding myself being in this slippery slope of spending too much, and I just don't want to like rack up credit card debt and stuff for stationery that I already own. So and I have plenty of, same with like bags and accessories and all that. So I'm just gonna like put myself on ban island for at least the month of May for sure, but my goal is to like not spend anything else until like the fall. That's like my ultimate goal, just because then in the fall, like I want to get like fall stickers and like fall decorative pieces. But for summer, like I just want to, I already have like everything I think I need for summer and spring. So like I'm good. Like I don't have a reason to need to spend more. I have plenty of summer bags. I have plenty of spring bags, and like plenty of stickers and ephemera for decorating for spring and summer. So yeah, that's the goal. I love this photo of Cloud and Aerith. Like May is when all the daffodils start to bloom here, and daffodils will always remind me of Aerith, even though I don't know if that's the flower in Final Fantasy VII, but I think it is, right? I'm not good at identifying flowers, but it looks like a daffodil. And then on here, I have this little Toronto Maple Leafs emblem or whatever that looks like a hockey puck because it's NHL playoff season. This spread, both these pages, both these days were very moody, which, you know, mirrors the actual like content of what I was writing about. And I mean, I just think it's interesting because you have this like this contrast of like, this is like kind of bubbly and light and playful because I was having a good day, and then you have spreads that look darker like this, which doesn't necessarily mean I had a bad day, but it's more of like a moody day, like something happened, you know. And then once again, bright and like playful. And then this is the last spread that I have updated, and this is my dog being cute in her little flower bed. I have this little patch from Mountain of Ink, which is like, I think the best website, at least that I've seen, of fountain pen ink swatches. Like they have like every fountain pen you can, or fountain pen ink that you can think of. So if you're ever looking to get into fountain pens, or you need like a reference for swatches, Mountain of Ink is like, I think one of the best ones. Anyway, so I actually plucked this from their website, and this one is for Robert Oster's Gray Seas, which is the one I write with like almost every day and is the one that I write with for my weekly pages. And I've stayed pretty consistent to it because I like feel like I like the way that this ink looks here. But this is like the perfect pen for it, by the way. Like this is the Pilot Kakuno, like I think it's like a Madoromi, or like the Sleepy series, Drowsy series. It's just like a new series of the Kakuno pens, where the colors are a little bit muted. And y'all, this color could not be more perfect for Gray Seas. My printer is not really showing the color that accurately, but you can see like the ink, and it's so perfect. Like it matches so perfectly. So if you're a matchy ink to pen person like I am, this is like so perfect with this Gray Seas color. And yeah, and then I started doing my Patreon stuff. So I was like talking about the launch of my Patreon and like ideas I had for it moving forward. So that is the update of my Hobonichi cousin journal, and still having a good time. We're still going. I am having that like Tomoe River paper quality issue as well. Like some pages are more fountain pen friendly than others, but I think it doesn't affect me as much because I keep adding like things and stickers and stuff like this. So I don't really notice it as much because there's always like something like there on the backside, if that makes sense. So I know there's a lot of people who don't decorate their cousins very like a lot like I do. Like it's mostly for writing, and then you can really see, like you can really start to notice the paper quality. So that honestly sucks. But maybe that could be a solution too, is just like add stickers or like layer paper and ephemera on top of it, and maybe it'll help alleviate that, the bleed through. So I'm going to talk pretty briefly about the Patreon that I just launched. It is very, very new. I only launched it a few days ago, but I'm really excited because one thing that I can't really do on YouTube is like blog posts, like a legitimate like blog form post. The community tab, I feel like I interact with that like functionality in YouTube like pretty often because I don't really use social media like outside of YouTube. Like I do have an Instagram, but like barely use it. And I'm not a big fan of Instagram anyway. So it just made sense to migrate the extra content to Patreon. It's just having the Patreon have that extra like content sharing capability is really nice because it's really inspired me to start creating again and being a little bit more creative with my notebooks and my planner hobby. But yeah, I'm gonna cut this up and see if these pages will fit nicely in my rings planner. I think they should fit fine, but we'll find out. So this is like a little to-do pocket to-do list, like weekly to-do list. I thought this was something that could work for me and my planning needs. And I'll see if it works out first. So usually with like any kind of new digital products, I definitely want to test them out first before like adding them to my website. So these will be available on my website, which I'll have all that like links and stuff in the description box, but I will have on all these in the websites. They will be digital downloads only. Oops. I messed that up. FML for real. I kind of hate this like paper cutter because I feel like it does this way too often and it's very annoying because then it just like wastes a perfectly good paper. Okay, so oops. I'll have to reprint those. So I will like add the digital like PDF versions on my website. I don't like sell any physical products right now, but I think digital products are nice because most people have printers and it's also like so much easier and so much faster for you to have access to these things. And I feel like in the planner community, it makes sense to offer like digital products anyway, because most of us like to DIY our books. So once I figure out the kinks, once I figure out if like the spacing is good and if it works out and I think it looks nice and it feels like a usable product, then I'll add it to my website. But since I literally just made these today, earlier today, I haven't really been able to utilize them and try it out. Also have to make sure the sizing is right. So when you guys print it out, there's no surprises, there's no guessing. And the other thing I have to like always be mindful of are the margins for the holes. And then the other thing is with these kind of things, like I can also share these on my Patreon if you are a member of the XOXO chat room, which is like my paid membership tier. So yeah, that's like one of the ideas, designing more stuff for planner inserts, which I've always wanted to do. But again, I kind of needed the push and shove and drive and motivation to make them because I do graphic design work as my full-time job. So it's easy to get burnt out as a designer because you're designing all the time. And at the same time, it's like definitely also a passion kind of career. And I always wanted to do all this like planner and journal inserts, but I just wasn't motivated. But now I'm kind of motivated with this new Patreon and we'll see how it goes. Okay, we're just gonna add the holes in these sheets and then we'll see if it's good. Okay, my margins are a little bit off, but well, these two are okay. These two, I cut them off too much. So yeah, I know this isn't gonna come out. It was mostly just to show you guys on camera, like the different color options. And these are not final. Again, these are not final. They're work in progress. So we'll figure it out. So this is the pocket, Filofax Pocket Malden. I know this looks suspiciously familiar to my old personal size Malden, and yeah, because they're the exact same thing but smaller. I actually was experimenting a little bit back into this personal size like Malden. I will say I do think the things I didn't like about it are still valid now as I was experimenting. And so curious old me, I wanted to see if the pocket size would work better for me, because I just think with planners, I need it to be a little bit smaller. I can't like fully commit to a bigger planner, I have noticed. I think that's why I had been okay with using the A6 Techo again as my main planner, because it's still pretty, like, it's still relatively a smaller book, and it just felt a little bit easier to fill. And I was kind of feeling like I'd feel the same way towards the Filofax rings. But I really do think that pocket is my size, like my preferred size. I'm always experimenting with different notebooks, so, you know, like flavor of the month sometimes. Like one month a planner will be working for me, the next month I might just have this itch to get out of it. But I do think with rings, as I continue to experiment more and more, I do think rings needs to stay as a pocket size. I think there's something iffy about, there's just something iffy about the personal size for me. And I think visually I like the personal size more. Like visually, I think personal just looks nicer to me. Like I kind of like more narrow books, like the Weeks. Like in theory, I love the way the Hobonichi Weeks looks, but it just doesn't work for me for some reason. And same with the personal size, like Filofax type of binders. I think I like the way it looks because it's like narrow and long, but in a practical like use case sense, I can't seem to make it work for me. And I can't even tell you guys why. I think the pocket is just less work, and maybe that's why. Like there's just less that I need to really do to make this functional. So I don't know. I think I'm kind of just figuring it out as we go along, but I do feel instantly, I felt instantly better going into the pocket Malden, even though it's the exact same thing, right? It's not even the cover, because the cover is the exact same as the one I already had, but I just instantly felt better being in this size. So I am keeping the inserts for now, like the default Filofax inserts. These are cream colored, and I was trying to match the color of the Filofax, but obviously failed miserably. It's like not even remotely the same. It might just be my printer diff, like my printer is not giving. And then we have the pink. I actually kind of like the way this looks with the cream paper better, this muted pink. So, oh yeah, that'll definitely fit. So this is all kind of like new to me, and I don't really have anything to show yet. But once I start kind of backfilling a little bit and getting this thing going, I will do a like pocket Filofax update video specifically for this planner, just to show you guys like how it's going and how I actually am using it. So my thought and idea for this pocket planner is actually going to be specifically for content creation. So I did set up some dashboard like aesthetic, which I will add these to the shop eventually as well. But again, these are all like in the ideation work in progress like stage. But I do want to make these like little dashboards for those like tabs that come with the Filofax kit. All I did was I just like taped some of it on here, not like fully so that I can change it out if I need to, but I just taped the top part so that I can change it out if I get bored of it or something, or if I need to change it. And yeah, it's just, it adds like a little something, you know, like a little extra aesthetic. But again, I want to make a dedicated video for this planner, so I'm not going to go into the flip through or anything like that with this. I just want to show you guys like the initial thought and idea. So each divider tab has like its dedicated like cover. So one for Patreon, YouTube, my website, and then like miscellaneous. So that's kind of the idea behind how I'm going to use this pocket planner. Just to give you a gist, like it's going to be like, I would say, I would call it my hobby planner. Yeah, I think that's a better name instead of content planner. Content planning planner. I think I'm going to call this my hobby planner. Yeah. So like everything related to content creation and designing and all that. I think that's what this will be. And then that way I can still stay in one book for actual planning, like life and work and everything like that, you know, is like my day-to-day. And then this one can be like all the hobby related stuff. So I'm kind of excited to dive more into this and try it out. Like I said, it's fairly new, so I don't really have like that much to say about it besides like I'm excited to set it up. So yeah, just stay tuned for a dedicated video on this whole system. And if you are over at Patreon, I'll probably have more of the work in progress of this notebook over there, just because I can share like snippets, like short videos and stuff. So you can kind of check out the work in progress if you're interested. But yeah, that is it from me today. I feel like I got all my points across in this video without actually like rambling on too long about something. So that's a nice feeling. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will catch you in the next one.